Hi everybody, Visible Lady of Faith here, coming to remind you to check out our new content on this channel where my husband and I share our personal experiences in our 45-year relationship. So come on over and check it out. Hi everybody, this is Visible Lady of Faith coming to you with, we've been married for 45 years.
That's right.
And
but see, there's another thing too, because you were always after me about I'm not supportive enough. Well, unconditional love. My wife likes the line dance. I can't stand it. But I'll go there. But she come on out and dance.
It's good exercise. It's fun exercise.
I say no. But still, I like to show up and then that kind of backfires on me sometimes too. So she thinks sometime while I'm there that I really don't want to be there. No, I just really don't want to get into the dancing because it just messes with my head. I'd rather do some other things. But yes, my wife says, yeah, you can dance. Yes, I can dance. But still, it takes time to learn all these steps. And right now, she kind of laughs at me because I be processing other stuff in my head, be trying to figure out and doing work and everything else. I don't want to add these dances because I'm going to add those dances in developing software or something. So
okay,
there's ways of dealing with that. And myself personally, when I hear it, I try to, when communicating, in other words, communicating to me, if I wanted to say I wanted to paint a red dot, right here, and it keeps coming back pink, blue, then we didn't communicate, because that dot, when you communicate, it's going to come back red. So that's what's going to happen. And so when you sit down and when you have, we talked about trust. When you start, telling a lie and then you have to cover it up with another lie, you're not communicating. You're trying to tell that person what they really want to hear. I learned, with employees that, I kind of told them what they wanted to hear, what I thought they wanted to hear. And when they found out the truth, they came in my office and gave me what for. And I promised myself I wouldn't do that again. I would try to find the right time to say it with love, because I found out in my success is that being honest with people, but just trying to find the right time
and the right words.
And the right
words help.
That's true.
Right.
That's
and the right tone
again.
too,
Yes.
because
yes,
coming off the wrong way can,
yes.
make you feel some type of way.
Yep, and that's true. Now, there's also another thing with love: self-control. Now, my wife says she doesn't remember this incident. When she was a lot younger, that old version of her, quote, old version of her,
right?
She got real mad at me, and it was in the garage. She knew I worked, because I work with a lot of tools and stuff. Because just for therapy, I like painting and doing all kind of electrical works and stuff like that. Minor stuff. It's to me that when she saw an opportunity when she got really mad at me, she grabbed my toolbox. I guess she thought, I'm going to really get him. She picked up my toolbox and bounced it off. My tools went all over the place and parts went all over the place in the garage.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, see, like I told you, she wouldn't remember it.
I don't remember that.
But she learned something real quick. I says, now, we both working. I don't care whose money is, pockets coming out. Now we got to replace that. So was it really worth you picking on that box that couldn't even do nothing for itself? If you're mad, come after me. I'm cheap. I put a Band-Aid on it. Heal up. But there's things that you would have to be very careful with your anger and everything. And again, there's some old sayings with old folks. There's also scriptures in the Bible that says, don't let the sun go down in your wrath. On your anger. I said that right. I think so.
Something like that. Yeah. You're close enough.
Yeah, close enough. But see, the point is, you shouldn't hold grudges, as my wife said previously, long periods of time, because it's not a good idea.
Plus, it's not healthy, because your emotions can be stressful. You can bring stress on yourself, and we want to stay physically and spiritually and emotionally healthy,
Yeah. So one thing that causes a lot of stress is another point: patience.
Being impatient.
Being impatient. Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you're talking about stress.
I'm working on that.
You're working on it?
Yeah, being more patient.
You sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, patience. You know, I used to play sports in high school and in college, and playing the violent game of football. You had to have a short memory. You can't be sitting there just arguing with the referee, and you had to be patient. Slowly, methodically, taking apart a team, finding the telltale signs of the other players. There's certain things that I know that if I do, I can push the buttons of this woman, and boy, she'll give me what for. Now, one thing the Lord blessed us that I can lease every room by design. See, I can tell her this now, that I made sure if she threw me out of the house, there was always a place somewhere on the property that I could sleep, find a nice bed, so it didn't have to be the couch or anything like that.
We don't even have a couch.
Oh, well, now we don't. Yeah, we don't have a couch now. So, but the point is, just sitting here and just being patient with her. I've learned to be really patient with her, and
But you still have your little moody mood sometimes.
but see, that's what she thinks.
Right.
See, that's
He said he's not, but
oh,
I perceive it as a mood. But he said, no, he's not. He's not.
okay. Now, see, this is the thing. Listen to this really close. If you sit here in your own mind, you ask the question, and then turn around and give an answer to it, and then say, I said it, that's a problem. Okay? That is a serious
I
problem.
don't do that. Do I?
I don't want to get in trouble here, but anyway, do you understand the point? The point is that when you sit down and you ask the question and give the own answer, then blame the other. That's not fair to the other party. So therefore, in order to keep your mental health, you should have the courage to ask that question, and you may ask that question 1,000 times in the relationship, because out of 45 years, we've had some of these discussions many, 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 many times, and now we decided let's share, because I'm pretty sure
Share with y'all.
Yeah, share with everybody else, because you got to remember,
Hey, I just had a thought.
what's that?
Sharing with you guys might be some therapy for us.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So, but at the same time, what I'm getting at is that our relationship is different than your relationship. So in order to find out the answers, don't be asking the questions and giving your own answers and blaming your other half for that. And don't be sitting here looking at we have the answers for it and then blaming them for our answers. So go to your other half. Yes, go to your other half.
Yes.
And let them give the answers, and you keep discussing it.
And don't forget to listen.
Listen, communicate, and get on that same page.
Right.
So,
or if you can't get on the same page, just understand his perspective and he understand your perspective.
Yeah, agree to disagree, and
agree to disagree, and try not to get all bent out of shape over it.
And really understand what that means. Agree to disagree. When they disagree, that don't mean you throw him out or I throw her out. It doesn't mean that well, I'm gonna fix it. I deserve all this, and divorce her and throw her out the door. So, as far as divorce, no, because like I said, divorce and all those kind of things is not an option for me.
Right.
Let's see. There's also endurance. 45 years. 45 years.
That's a lot of endurance.
That's a lot of endurance. That's part of love, is endurance.
Yeah.
And unconditionally. It takes a beating, it keeps on ticking.
Yeah. I always like to say that we were raised differently. So we have different ways of doing things, or different perspectives of how we see things, or you always say how my view of life or how I deal with life is different than how you deal with life.
Yeah, but look the way you were raised, and then look the way I was raised.
Yeah, we were raised different,
Yeah.
So
how were you raised?
That's where, how was I raised?
Yeah, how was you raised?
Like I said before, I was raised sheltered.
Okay.
So I would say this being married to you has.
And how many mothers did you have?
I had one mother, single mother.
fathers?
Lived in the projects. It was interesting.
You had an interesting father?
So we didn't have I didn't have a father in the home.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have a father in the home. And let me forget my thought.
Well, you had mother, your
And
mother.
mother, not a lot of communication in the home. Yeah, not a lot of communication in the home. So I was saying that being married to you had really opened my eyes to relationships and unconditional love and communication and forgiveness.
Yeah, and see, and the difference, and the reason why I was saying that because I had multiple mothers. I had a biological mother, and my mother's friends. They gave me a lot of good advice. Her mission sisters, they gave me a lot of good advice. I heard them, especially the one. I will say her name, Sister Reed. She gave me the 7 keys to success, and those keys, I followed those keys because she wanted to make sure that when I became successful, at least I had somebody I can share it with, and I have that, now. And the fathers that I had, I come from that old school. When I did something wrong, when I was in Bakersfield, everybody got they shot at me. The principal got a shot at me, so I couldn't get away with anything, with any of the adults. So that
Wow.
was important. But
Different.
yes, but see, just because you had a single mother, at least I would have to say, I wish I had gotten to know your mother a little bit better because I found out toward the end when she was on her last days that there was just some things that she made a whole lot of sense. And it seems like when we get older, closer to the end of our road in our lives, we seem to open up more. And I noticed that with my mother and father because I talked to matter of fact, my father never went to any of my football games, but he went to my son's football game, and I was just shocked. And I told my brother about it too. And then my mom, I enjoyed in the last days when she was there that we sat down in the morning and she was just reading, reading the Bible, and we just sat down and talked about things. And what I loved about those discussions, we were not just sitting there talking about what I heard in the pulpit. It's always in the pulpit. It's always on the service. It's always trying to get you all excited. Jesus died on the cross and all that. And no one has said anything about, like I said, Abraham, who was married to his stepsister, also / his wife. And then I found out later on, that's why I said it's deceitful when Abraham told, Pharaoh that was his sister. He was kind of being deceitful, but Isaac lied and said that his wife was his sister. So, those kind of things in there, because I think they're important because they tell you the dynamics and the ups and downs in a family, so you don't feel like you're alone, with this battle. And that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah,
You're not alone because
right.
everybody.
We're not alone.
Yeah,
right. We all go through stuff, experience stuff,
yeah,
different stuff, or
Yeah.
the same stuff.
yeah. And we're just trying to tell you that some of the stuff we went through, and even in the Bible, they're going through some stuff if you sit there and you read it. Because I can tell you about a whole lot of stories that seems like they don't want to talk about as in their youth. But I'm glad I didn't go too far down that road. So at least I didn't meet hard and drugs and stuff like that. But the point I'm leading up to, you remember that old song, "Love on a two-way street," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's so true. And they say, "Oh, don't be listening to that worldly music." But there was a lot of wise things said in those songs.
Right.
Because love is a two-way street. And when you're talking about a divorce, then is the problem that you're not getting what you expected from the other person? And is it that your wife now you don't like the size, she overweight and all this other kind of stuff, or she doesn't take care of herself?
But it's still the person you married.
Yeah, but also at the same time, you can sit there and find out what's wrong. What's causing you to go down
That's
these
where the
different ways.
communication, yeah.
Yeah, and supportive.
And another thing, just want to think about like divorce. You said, "Oh, this is not the same person I married. It changed," but we believe that we want to change. We don't want to be that same old way. Like you said before, the more information we have, the more experiences that we have, we grow. We grow. So
Yep.
we don't want to be that same old person. We want to get better. We
Yep.
want to become a better person,
Okay.
a better couple, have a better relationship, have one that we can tolerate.
Let's see, like happiness, fun, and things like that. Now, That's another thing. When you say fun, I thought one day I'm just going to do it up. And matter of fact, and it's a blessing that I said, okay, this time, I don't know if it was the birthday, anniversary, I decided, well, hey, I'm going to take her to a Motown show. I'm going to take her to Hawaii. I'm going to go and take her to Vegas, and we're just going to have a ball.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
And as we went, I can say that, but I'm just saying that yeah, it was some tough times in there that I thought, well, wow, I thought I was doing a great job.
You
But
did
still,
do a great job.
well,
I mean, just because we had a hiccup doesn't mean it wasn't a good thing.
but see that's she telling that, and that's why she's here telling her side of the story, and I'm telling my side of the story, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the whole
Right.
part, and that's the
Right.
fun part of it. That it is sad for the men. This, I see so many things. It seems like it's a stereotype, and that means it's happening too much, as far as I'm concerned. That men are walking out on their families, and I will have to say this: it's more than just to be married to her. I'm married to my 4 children. I'm married to the church that looks up at this family as a role model. And we also found out some school systems look at it and they kind of they said, wow, we kind of look and see how you handle things, as a family, because 45 years, and I will have to say, neither one of us have children outside of we were married July the 10th, 1976. We have no children, and before 1976. So all our children were in the marriage. And people say, "Yay!"
Born in the marriage.
Yeah. But please don't let this make you feel bad, because there's things in the Bible that happen where it's outside. As you think about it, like Jacob, they had a tradition. He was also married to Leah and also Rachel. So there, he had 2 wives, and I'm glad it's against the law. And God said, because if I had 2 of these to deal with, I would go nuts. But anyway,
Yeah,
so
I was thinking about where I came from. Came from a single parent home, 2 sisters. I'm the 3rd sister. I'm the youngest, and we all had different fathers. Now that was kind of a challenge for me to deal with at first, but I finally I guess the word accepted it and dealt with it, because it's nothing I can do. I didn't have anything to do with it, and I always told myself that I don't know where it came from though. If I had any children, I wanted the father to be in their life, and I wanted them to know who their father was, and for him to be in their life and to be a part of it, and it happened.
it's an intimate thing, and no, I'm not into spikes and spikes and all these weird things like this and this. To me, that's a conversation. It's between the 2 partners, and I will have to say this: you should not be bashful or try to say whatever and try to con or do it. Just have a honest, truthful conversation with your partner about the intimacy part of that. Now, so you can understand really clearly where we're coming from. Now, like I said, no, we're not gonna say, oh yeah, we went to see porno, and we're not going down those places there, because everybody with what their desire. Only thing is being honest with a person how they feel, and not it's all one sided. The other, find a compromise.
Right.
Between the 2 as far as intimacy.
Right. Right.
As a matter of fact, you should really be doing these. People just trying to be test drive and say, "Ooh, she's really great in the bed," or vice versa. Like, love is a 2-way street here, and I would have to say, intimacy. I'm quoting my wife. It starts outside of the bed, and
Right.
and
It's not all physical. It's
yeah,
emotional.
and some of you guys that have you have it all together with the rose petals and stuff like that. I say kudos for you. I'm not one of those guys.
You don't have to be one of those guys.
No, I do my version of it.
Right.
So I said,
Everybody's different.
yes, and everybody's different. I'm doing my version of it, but one thing is communication and listen, because we may win found and say, "Ooh, I like this in the movie. How they were doing this here. I like to do that with my wife." No, I'm not really interested in that, because she may have a bad back or something that's going on, medically, where you can't do it, and she said, I ain't doing this. Yeah, that's why I said it's important. All the things we talked about is to find that common ground.
Communicate. All that has to do with communication.
And it will help you even with your children, because, like I like my dad. He said, "Let me have that conversation with my boy about whoopity doo," is what he called it. Well, whoopity doo. I said, "What's that, Dad? What's whoopity doo?" And they wanted to call whoopity doo the wild thing and all this other. I said, "It's sex, Dad. That's what it is."
Yeah, that's one thing I think that I kind of fell short. I did fall short of as a parent, talking to my children about sex.
Yes, and the birds and the bees.
Yeah, I fell short in that area.
Yeah.
Because some people may think that I don't like to talk or I'm quiet, but I told them, I really didn't know how to start the conversation with them. But now I know, you just be honest, be open and honest,
Oh, yeah.
So, and just share, what you know.
Well, we'll put it this way: when it comes down to sex, I had a black book, but I was not sleeping with all the women in the black book. I was more of a person that liked to socialize. Even though I played football, yes, blah 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 blah, but if you would say to put tags on my belt, that is very, very,
tags?
very.
What's tags on your belt?
Whatever you call them, notches or whatever.
Notches on your belt.
All the women I done slept with. I know some, so I slept with 100 women. That's something I wouldn't be proud to say, because the intimacy with my wife here
is special.
It's very emotional. Mm-hmm. The fluids from one's body. If I'm going to ask God, is there something in there? Because it's. I mean, you can catch diseases if you're not clean about it, but it's the other thing too, is that emotions are also wrapped in that, because people have committed suicide, all kind of crazy things, because they're so far in love.
Committed crimes for their
desires, yes.
Yeah.
And so this is something that I'll say this, raising our kids is one thing that I always did. When they came there to talk about something that was intimate or something about their body, mm-hmm. I always explained it to them at their level.
Right.
And I would make sure they understood there and they were satisfied, then they'll walk away. When they got older, I just keep doing it and keep feeding them. Now as adults, since they are as adults, well, there's nothing you can hold back now. They in the 30s and up. So we have one that's in their 40s and one in his 30s. So
you have two in the 40s.
I don't know. You better ask her. Well, no, it's true. It's right.
Two in the 40s,
I almost
two in the 30s.
The third one.
Yeah.
So.